In January of 1979, when the Dukes of Hazzard premiered on CBS during its primetime schedule, it was initially nothing more than a filler show in their lineup. Only 9 episodes had been ordered, and most of the executives with the network didn't expect the series about two brothers at odds with the corrupt law enforcement of Hazzard County to become both a ratings powerhouse and a merchandising bonanza. The chairman of CBS absolutely hated the show. William Paley, having built CBS from a radio station to one of the big 3 TV networks, had dealt with talent as diverse as Norman Lear and Lucille Ball, which was in contrast to the southern fried humor of the Dukes of Hazzard. Even when the series was in the top 10 and was an unbelievable success, he described the show as lousy. When the show began casting in 1978, the producers threw out a pretty wide net, searching for the leads in the series. Dennis Quaid was among those interested in the role of Luke Duke, which eventually went to Tom Wopat. Dennis Quaid had a condition for his employment. He would only agree to do the show if his then wife, PJ Soles, was cast as the Duke's cousin Daisy. She wasn't a proper fit for the supporting role, so Quaid wasn't cast either. When Jon Snyder went in for his audition, he walked in there like he was a redneck. The New York native was only 18 years old when he went in to read for the role of Bo Duke. The producers wanted someone that was 24 to 30 years old, so Snyder lied about his age and passed himself off as a typical Southern stereotype. He also told another lie, and that was that he was a great stunt driver. This performance ended up landing him the role on the show. Although the lead actors on the show were really the stars, both of them and the show's producers quickly found out that the main attraction was the 1969 Dodge Charger, dubbed the General Lee. Bo and Luke Duke used the car to travel from one caper to another. Of the 60,000 letters the series was receiving each month, 35,000 wanted more information on the car. The car was truly the star. The leads in the series would eventually walk off the show in 1982 after demanding a cut of the show's massive merchandising revenue, which was at the time estimated at more than $190 million, and that was in 1981 alone. They were replaced by cousins of the Duke boys, and the fans absolutely hated this. The 2 leads eventually came back, but this wasn't the only time that Warner Brothers had to deal with some irate actors. James Best, who played Roscoe, refused to film 5 episodes, all because he had no private dressing room in which to change his clothes. Ben Jones, who played Cooter, the mechanic, briefly left because he wanted his character to sport a beard, but the producers said absolutely not. The Dukes of Hazzard's famous hood slide was actually an accident. It became a staple and even a cliché of action films everywhere. The slide over the top of the hood was popularized by Tom Wopat. While it may have been tempting to take the credit for it, he says that it was unintentional, and that the first time he tried clearing the hood, the car's antenna hooked him and injured him. Waylon Jennings provided the voice of the balladeer, the off-screen narrator of each episode. He also was the one that sang the show's theme song, The Good Old Boys, which went on to become a hit single in 1981. The General Lee's famous Dixie Horn wasn't originally planned. When the producers were driving in Atlanta during the first few episodes, they heard a car pass with a Dixie Horn. They chased the driver down and convinced him to sell the horn. They'd later realized that it was just a novelty horn, which could be purchased at any auto parts store for about a third of what they paid. That horn was only used in the first 5 episodes, and was added in post-production later on. During the show's run, Sorrel Book would often make personal appearances as Boss Hogg, wearing his white suit and hat and speaking in a southern accent. Fans of the show, especially the children, were really surprised that he was so kind and courteous. His character of Boss Hogg was just the opposite of the way he really was. It's interesting to know that the inspiration for the character of Boss Hogg and Sorrel Book's interpretation of it came from U.S. Senator Strom Thurmond. Several country and western stars make appearances on the show as part of Roscoe and Boss Hogg's celebrity speed trap. Some of the stars who appeared were Waylon Jennings, Mickey Gilley, Buck Owens, Johnny Paycheck, Don Williams, Loretta Lynn, the Oak Ridge Boys, and the list goes on and on. The TV show was really based on a movie that came out in 1975 called Moonrunners. Waylon Jennings still played the balladeer, but Ben Jones, who played Cooter in the TV show, played an agent named Fred from Chicago. The name Duke was also different too. In the movie, it was Hag. James Mitchum played Grady Hag, Kyle Martin was Bobby Hag, Bruce Atkins was Sheriff Roscoe Coltrane, and Bill Gruber was Cooter Pettigrew. To round out the cast, Uncle Jesse Hag was played by Arthur Honeycutt. The part of Daisy Duke was originally intended to resemble Dolly Parton. Catherine Bach's audition was so strong that she changed the producers' minds about this character, and they cast her on the spot as Daisy Duke. In the pilot, Daisy is described as knowing the lyrics to all of Parton's songs, and in the early episodes, it's implied that Daisy is looking to start a music career. Now let's talk about Daisy Duke's shorts, because they almost didn't make it into the show. When the network executives saw her wearing these shorts for the first time, they were taken back by it. The initial thought was that she would wear an outfit that almost had a look of a checkered tablecloth. Catherine Bach took it upon herself to come in with these personal shorts of hers, and the producers of the show absolutely loved it. But the executives with the network saw it totally different, and they said she couldn't wear them. They argued back and forth about this. Eventually, the executives gave in and allowed her to wear them with one condition. She had to wear pantyhose underneath them. This action by the studio, by trying to divert attention from her outfit, as they originally hoped, did just the opposite. The pantyhose highlighted her long and shapely legs, turning Bach into a sex symbol. The term Daisy Dukes also became a way to reference short shorts, and they are still called that today. Part of the decline in the ratings during the second half of the series' run was really attributed to the debut of the TV series Knight Rider. While they didn't air directly against each other, both shows vied for the same audience, with an interest in souped-up cars. As a result, producers began to increase stunts and jump sequences that featured the General Lee. You might want to take another look at this classic late 70s show. It was always entertaining and full of plenty of laughs. If you enjoyed this video, check out the description for links that help support the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.